Hello, it's Dr. Rhonda Johnson, and I'm going to be doing another video segment on the COVID-19 vaccines. Why? Because, that is the news story, probably for the next couple of weeks. So today, in this segment, I'm going to be discussing what I call 12 frequently asked questions, and I'm going to be providing 12 answers about the COVID-19 vaccine. 12 questions, 12 answers. Here we go. Question 1, what is the difference in the new COVID-19 vaccines? Well, the answer is the way these vaccines are made, folks. The old school or traditional way of making vaccines is to take a virus and either kill it or weaken it, and that's called attenuation. It makes it less infectious from the real virus. And then those killed or attenuating viruses still have enough potency to act as stimulants for our immune system. Now, these are the standard traditional type vaccines. The new technology that Moderna and Pfizer are using is one in which you have the messenger RNA, which contains for a coding sequence that is the information for that viral spike protein, and it's packaged in a lipid nanoparticle for delivery purposes. Question number 2, with the new COVID vaccine, am I going to be getting COVID? The answer is no. There is no infectious material that's going to be injected into people. The Moderna and the Pfizer vaccines will cause your cells to make a single spike protein, but that is the critical protein that the virus uses to get inside your cell, so your immune system needs to respond to it. Question 3, what is such a thing as called the lipid nanoparticle? Well, think of it as a carrier or delivery system that enables the vaccine to get into your body after you've been vaccinated. Question number 4, what is the spike protein messenger RNA? Well, it's a protein that will be made into a protein just like all the other proteins that your body normally makes. The only difference is once it gets made that your cells are going to recognize it as foreign and they're going to mount an immune response to it. Now, that spike protein, again, is that protein that allows the coronavirus to get into the cells. So that's why it's the target for all of these COVID-19 vaccines. Question number 5, is this a new technology for a vaccine? Well, the answer is 2 parts. Lipid nanoparticles are not new technology. Messenger RNA technology has been around for a while. The prototype for the Moderna vaccine was actually developed initially for a Zika virus. Remember that virus? But with all of the mosquito eradication that occurred, the virus died off. So the Zika virus vaccine never got to the clinical trial phase. So the technology is relatively new, but folks, it's not brand new. Question 6, why was this vaccine developed so quickly? Well, the Chinese, back in December or so, sequenced the SARS-CoV-2 virus genetic sequence, and they made it available to the world. And folks, as soon as you have the genetic sequence, you can develop a messenger RNA vaccine against it. So that trimmed off years and years and years of work that has traditionally been associated with the older vaccines and enabled this vaccine to be produced much quicker. You must remember that with the world of genetic advancements, things are being done that would have taken hundreds of years to do in modern medicine. Question 7, what are some of the differences between the flu vaccine and the COVID-19 vaccine? Well, folks, seasonal influenza usually comes from an animal source and enters the human population. That's why we've had the swine flu pandemics, bird flu pandemics in years past. COVID-19 is also believed to have entered through an animal population into the human population, but now the spread is being driven, it's primarily, if not entirely, by humans. So one of the differences between the COVID-19 and the flu vaccine is the flu virus varies from year to year. There's a lot of variation because the virus mutates. The coronavirus mutates too, but it doesn't seem to be mutating as dramatically as the influenza virus. So that's a big difference in these two vaccines. Question number 8. Is COVID vaccine going to be seasonal like the flu vaccine? Well, right now it doesn't appear that the COVID-19 virus is seasonal. We've seen this virus infect people in the spring, summer, fall, and now winter. Question number 9. Why do the Pfizer vaccine requires such a low temperature for storage? Well, that has to do with the messenger RNA. It's unstable at ordinary temperatures. So the way they formulated that vaccine, it has to be stored at a very cold temperature to keep the messenger RNA stabilized. It is possible that future vaccines will improve to better stabilize the messenger RNA. Question number 10. Does a messenger RNA vaccine change your human DNA? The answer, folks, is no. Messenger RNA is the next step down from DNA. So your DNA makes messenger RNA, and then the messenger RNA makes proteins. The COVID-19 messenger RNA vaccine only codes for a segment of the spike protein of the coronavirus. So this messenger RNA vaccine is only going to make that segment of the coronavirus spike protein. So nope, there's absolutely no chance it's going to get integrated into human DNA and create a new human subspecies. Next question, 11. People are worried about side effects. What should people be worried about? Well, folks, whenever you get an injection, there can be side effects. The most important thing is so far, all the side effects have been temporary, like 1 or 2 days. And if they do persist longer than 1 or 2 days, you know that you'll have to see a doctor. Now, one other way to look at this, if you get soreness at your arm or feel tired or have a fever, you know that your immune system is working and responding to the vaccine. And that's a pretty good sign that the vaccine is working in you. The question 12 and the last and final question, people ask me this all the time. Will I get the COVID-19 vaccine? And the answer is absolutely. I would get any vaccine. I've taken so many over the course of my years as a physician. But as far as the COVID-19 vaccine, I would get any of the vaccines that become available. Since I'm no longer working on the front lines of healthcare, I can get it when the general public gets it. And that might be March or April, they say. So whatever vaccine is available, I will get. And then my last message is not a question, it's just an urging. I encourage everybody to get the flu vaccine, especially if you haven't gotten it. And if you're thinking about getting the COVID-19 vaccine, well, you can't get the COVID-19 vaccine and the flu shot at the same time because that has not been tested and we don't know what that would do. So it's best to have at least a month in between these vaccines. Now, the initial COVID-19 vaccines that are coming out are the 2-dose. So that would mean you would end up with 3 shots. So you need to get the flu shot first, and as soon as possible if you're going to get it, to protect you against influenza. And then you get the 2-dose COVID-19 vaccine separated either by 21 days or 28 days apart. Okay, I know that's a lot of information. This is Dr. Rhonda Johnson. I hope this has been helpful to you. Stay safe and have a blessed day.